We back. Round 3, baby. Oh no. My buttons are typing in the chat. Oops. Oopsies. Okie dokie. So, if anyone's just tuning in, we're just continuing on with our debate review, our interview review that we had with the speaker at the COVID rally, anti-lockdown rally, a week or two ago. And yeah, we got pretty off topic last time, just going into, I guess, economics and such. But hopefully we'll finish up our review today and do some more research and stuff. Yeah, it'll be a fun time. So I was going to hop on a call with the 13 Army and we'll get this started. Sup?
Hola.
My bitch ass is now in the disc.
Very good.
OP.
Oh, I guess it is 6 o'clock.
Oh, it is. 6:01. I'm late. Fuck.
I think we saw my. I haven't started the stream yet.
Oh no. Well, I'm live.
I'm starting now, so.
OP.
I'm also live. Ooh, you gotta put on that starting soon screen. This gives people a chance to funnel in.
Mm-hmm. I like it because I can go live and have the starting soon screen, and then it gives me time to share it everywhere.
Right.
Before I bounce on and continue to be
yeah,
awkward.
I generally just make posts like before I go live, being like, hey, like I'm going to be going live at this time.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't work as easily on Facebook Live and well, just Facebook Live specifically for that because you have to share the live stream itself.
Right.
So you got to go live first. Big cringe.
Gotcha. Big crongy.
Big crunch. Cool. Well, I'm gonna jam some Isaac while we wait.
Alright, you're not gonna hop on Valheim with me, you bitch?
I probably won't get much done before we beginneth, so.
Oh yeah,
But
that's fair.
we can
I set up the
Valheim
portal
once
to
we
the
get this shit
merchant.
done.
I set up the portal to the merchant.
Oh, sweet. Baller. Did I
Isaac
Okay, I did
and
unmute
his
everything.
mother lived alone
Struggle.
in a small house on a hill.
Womp.
Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys.
Blah, blah,
as
blah,
his
blah.
mom.
We continue the run.
Alright. Couple minutes to buy. What to do. Yeah, pretty much the only thing we have to do at this point is just focus on beating the next bosses in Valheim.
Yeah.
We need to get one more dragon egg.
I gotta get silver
Yeah.
still. I've been trying to find it in my own world on my off time when I had a chance. And
Right.
not very much luck. I got absolutely fucking memed on the first mountain closest to my house. It was a pretty decent mountain. But, and I found, like, my wishbone was going off, and I was like, cool. And then I undug some stuff, and I found a skeleton. But then the wishbone was still going off. Normally when you uncover whatever the wishbone was telling you about, it stops going off, right? But it just kept going off, and I was like, is my game just, like, glitching? I think it's glitching, because I kept digging, and I just found nothing. Either that, or I am just, like, big brain, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't doubt.
Right.
Always one battery away. So close.
What is this? So you were my death, you look so small and soft. Tell Odin he may have broken this form, but the wilderness will never... something.
Womp.
Oh, that was interesting. The stone was like talking there.
The
Not
stone?
much talking. Yeah, like Ector, like where we put his trophy, it had like words above it saying like, oh, like you look so small and soft, tell Odin that like he may have broken this form, but the wilderness something or other, and then it kind of cut off.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Me, when I talk to any
Really?
females, he looks so small and soft. Okay.
I made a bunch of obsidian arrows. I also got us a fishing hook or a fishing rod and lots
Oh,
of
fuck.
bait.
Yeah. How has that been fishing? Has that been okay?
I haven't tried it yet,
Fuck. Unbelievable.
so it'll be definitely very interesting to see where that takes us.
True. Me when I see the scythe. Favorite. Oh, look at it. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, look at it!
Oh,
Oh.
look at it. Ooh, HP up. Take these.
Alright, well, we have that set up. I like our little portal hub that we have going on. We have like 4 portals on a row. I think I might break down this. I think I might break down these portals. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to move this bonfire and like flatten all this ground and make it like nice and like flat and like whatever, and then just put all the portals there.
Okay.
So it's like less like hilly and whatnot.
Yeah, then it's just kind of a nice little area. You went fucking
Yeah.
ham on that shit, my dude.
You fucking bet your ass I did.
What am I on for too? Okay, so I gotta go through here. Boo-boo.
That's why my
Oh,
fucking
The scythe is so
my levels
OP
are
in the
so
new.
goddamn high.
So goddamn high. Scythe is so OP in the new update. Or at least it seems like it. It makes kind of metal noises when it hits shit. It's dope.
How's that OP?
I don't know. It makes me feel cool, you know? It makes me
It
feel
makes
hip.
me feel like a baller.
Exactly. Fuck! Get away from me. Oh my.
Alright, well,
Fucking troll bombs.
I'm going to quit out of Valheim. Not home.
Oh, this is gonna be a good
7,
one, I can
that's a good
tell.
amount of time for people to have funneled in.
Amazing.
Pause.
Bamba.
Alright. Oh, I guess I need to, I'm sorry, I didn't try that out. I was gonna say maybe we should try turning on our cameras before we started our stream.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we both
know what?
fucked up that one.
Give me a second. I can probably figure it out. I'm just gotta. Oh fuck! Don't do that. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna. Okay, pause. Exit. Oh, that's a good start to an Isaac already. Big PP. Okay. Full screen. Exit out of that guy. Okay, let's see. Google, teach me how.
Google, teach me how.
How. Oh, I guess it would be
Alright.
okay. So on Discord, it's video. How to use camera for Discord and OBS same time. Oh, it's so annoying. Me and my friend just wanted to stream some, and I am still trying to learn as much as possible, but there seems to be a problem. We both only have one camera, and I cannot stream with a camera both on Discord and OBS. Would there be any way to for future progress to fix something like this, or is there a way? It's a limitation in Windows. You can't use a direct show device like a webcam and do programs at the same time. So the issue I'm seeing with this, yeah, is that I'm thinking the main issue here is actually the fact that it's probably the fact that I can't do like a screen grab. You know how like in OBS you can like screen cap certain things? You know, like
Yeah.
only parts of the window or whatever, which
Yeah.
is really useful. Well, Discord doesn't seem to like do that. It just gives you like generic options, and none of them are like just the video footage from your OBS, which is unfortunate.
Right.
So how do I do this then? There's got to be a way, because it's like literally like I have the program open, OBS, on my other screen, so I should be able to just like screen grab part of it. There's got to be a way to do that.
There we go. That looks better. Yeah, not a huge deal. Am I ready to hit play on the stuff?
1 second.
Feel sneeze coming
Ooh.
on. Oh, what is this? Wait, ooh, I probably don't want to show that stuff. How do I? There we go.
Okay, well, I give up. Seems complex.
Oh. Hey dude, you want to join the conversation on Discord? We're going through a political compass and discuss it. Yeah, sure. Link the Discord. And I can just send the link to Novus.
OP.
Sure. Oh, this might read it out. If it does, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'll just 1 second. It's muted still. Okay, what are we doing now?
Alright, so we Bilk was saying that he asked if we wanted to join a conversation on Discord, and he's like, we're going through a political compass and like discussing it. So he linked us.
Oh, the invite you sent was invalid.
Oh, the invite I sent was invalid? Yeah, okay, I can just do this. Invite people. No, this boom. Invite. There you go. I sent an invite directly to you.
Okay, so what's going on here?
I literally just explained this.
Sorry, my brain is fucking potato.
They're going through a conversation. They're going through like a political compass, and they want to discuss it.
Okay, is everyone just doing their own political compass, and then discussing? Or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. So it's under hidden channel.
Awkward. I'm not sure. Chamber room.
There we go.
I have found it.
There we go. I was literally just messaging you, be like, join the hidden channel.
Yeah.
Like, it
I
just
heard
says
you
hidden
say.
channel.
I literally heard you say, "Oh, it's hidden," and then your like name cut out because I think you joined it at the exact same time and you booted out of the other one. I was like, okay, I heard him hear the word say the word hidden, so I'm gonna try and find that. Did not see it.
The word within.
The word within English.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you guys wanted to join, and I think
Hell yeah, why not?
this would be interesting. We'll see if we get any further.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
ju-
do the test. I kind of want to see your result.
Yeah. So just gonna start off. I'm from Sweden. I don't speak English by my mother tongue, so I might hiccup sometimes, and you're just gonna have to live with it.
No worries.
That's
I am
good.
like native English speaker, and I'm also trash at it, so we golden.
Same.
That's cool, and I don't have to feel like an alien.
No worries.
Well, cool. I'll just guess we'll start out.
Mhm.
I
If
think you need to
economical.
stream in the Discord again, right? No, you're
Oh yeah, you guys see it?
Yep.
No, I see it.
Yep.
What am I supposed to
if-
see?
Oh well, just check my screen
Doing
in
this weird
Discord.
test.
Okay, gotcha.
You
Here,
can see that you're streaming, yeah.
I could zoom in
should I
on
click
it.
on this guy? Watch stream.
Or whatever you want. A
Okay, cool,
viable clan member.
We golden.
Cool. So if economic globalization is
Inevitable. No worries.
inevitable, it should probably serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations.
Yeah,
What's your guys'
strongly.
opinion?
I would say strongly agree.
I did that too.
Strongly agree. I took agree because
Because you're an asshole.
yeah, precis, because I hate humanity basically.
Very good.
No, but I mean, some interest of the transnational corporation is needed in order to have our functioning society.
Like in
Yeah,
its modern state, probably. If we're talking about like the transitional period and stuff like that, then I would have to probably agree to some extent to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it should generally serve humanity, right? And not the corporation that is in question, right?
But I'm basically thriving that on prosperity is only succeedable by economic profits in modern day in this society.
No, but the guy in chat is a little bit right, to be honest. Like it's kind of like a weird phrasing. Like the reason we're doing this
for
is
sure.
not because like we think the test is super good. It's more
Yeah.
of like
Good questions
NA
to
political spectrum test, you know?
Yeah. I mean, these tests usually tend to be like the wording tends to be like a little bit. I don't know. You have to kind of interpret what you think they mean by the questions. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
they're not really like the greatest, but they're fun to do regardless. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the question is there, and then you discuss it.
Yeah, exactly.
guess-
Yeah. That's the fun part.
Okay, so
I would say
Jordan
that with the
Army,
interest thing, they're like, my understanding of this would be more that like if you aim, like what you're serving to be humanity, that generally this will benefit the corporations as well. Maybe from like a capitalist perspective, we could say that like businesses that fail are inefficient to some degree or whatever. All right. And so if the businesses can't survive under a model that's like humanity focused, then should they exist in the first place?
I mean, if you're arguing from the standpoint of capitalism, then yes, of course, right?
Yeah.
But is that right? Another question.
Yeah.
Like for capitalists, then of course, like it is about the profit of the company, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's usually what's the word? That's the goal, I guess. Yeah.
But if your overarching ideal is like about humanity and like let's say like social standards, then
Yeah.
obviously you should agree with whatever statement that is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would say that we could probably focus humanity really. Like that's why I think I strongly agree with this one. You could probably focus humanity and still have like a benefit for transnational corporations. It would just be
Okay.
not all of them, right? Like I think it would just end up being the ones that have that more humanity focus, right? Instead of the like monetary focus. Like if a business exists in that case only to make money at the expense of humanity in this sense, which I would assume would be like a business that maybe let's say pollutes and stuff, which would be a net negative to humanity, in like a really broad sense, then that would be clearly like bad for the transnational corporation, and their profits if we were to focus on humanity more than corporations. But I think that inevitably it would be okay. It would like businesses would still survive.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Should we do like? I'm just gonna go with agree there.
You could probably just answer whatever you feel like answering too, because that would be.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. I guess we took the next question.
Yeah, to this one.
So,
I definitely strongly disagree. If the country's wrong,
I
get
disagree
fucked.
with it.
Nationalism is cringe as hell.
I don't think so. I'm a bit nationalistic, actually. I'm sure I'm not totally blind to whatever my country does.
Yeah.
But I tend to, the closer to me, I tend to have more faith in. I mean, like I have more faith in my family or in my neighborhood than the other block. Or
Right,
do you
yeah.
get what I mean?
I know what you
Like,
mean. Yeah. Like
the
it's like a
closer-
pride thing and
basically, like the closer to me, the the easier I have to feel compassionate about it.
that makes
I
sense.
guess
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. I get what you mean with that. Yeah.
But that's why I disagree and not strongly disagree or agree.
Mm-hmm.
I also wouldn't strongly disagree with it, just because like the wording of the question. So it's like I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. Because like I think if your country is right, you obviously are probably going to agree with your country or support your country more often than if it was wrong. So I think if you choose like the strongly disagree stance, then it's like no matter whether your country is right or wrong, you're saying I strongly disagree with this statement.
Oh yeah.
Which I think I think that's just an unrealistic expectation to be put on humans.
So the reason why
because we're naturally biased.
Yeah. I mean that for sure that bias will exist. The reason why I generally disagree with this notion and with like nationalism is because and I can put it in like a pretty like quick little catchy phrase that I like to use. I use this against like tankies for their arguments and stuff all the time. It's the idea of
my friend, what is a tanky?
It's like a left-wing person, like a person who claims to be on the left, like it's someone who might present as a communist or a socialist, but they actually just want authoritarian rule and stuff. So the people that will support China and Russia and Cuba, anywhere that you would consider like that any like modern people might call communist, but those people are like those country states are actually just like authoritarian hellholes.
So people that think China is a communistic country only because it calls itself like that.
Yeah, like people that'll look at China and then they'll be like, "This is communism," and then they'll defend China because they think it's communism. That's like what I would consider to be like a tanky, because they're actually defending like an authoritarian regime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't think if you're defending like authoritarian or dictatorships or anything like that, then I don't think that you're actually left leaning. So we just use the word tanky to like, describe these people.
Yeah, I think that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
The reason I are pro nationalistic, or what I mean by that is not including nationalism that tends to unite people rather than divide them. And
yeah, there's positive aspects to nationalism for sure. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
That like community sense, like you said before, belonging.
Oh yeah, like the closer we are united, the easier, the better we will live. I tend to look at like the old country, the family country in Sweden. We have this socialistic, we call it people's home, basically. I don't know what's the English term for it.
Okay.
But basically, where you don't lock your doors because you trust everyone. But yeah, kind of is that.
Oh yeah. I grew up in a small town. We were like that there too, so I know exactly what you mean.
People locking the doors of P server? Yeah.
Nope.
Not basically.
No, for sure. Yeah, we would like literally leave our door unlocked, and then like our friends would come over and just like not even knock, just right on in and stuff.
Not even knock,
it's
just
great.
walk.
It was honestly, it was amazing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's a fun fact actually, because in the bigger town where I live, there's non-existent. But whenever when you come out on the countrysides and you see a guy that's locking the door and everyone's just looking at him like, what the fuck is this guy hiding?
Yeah, totally right. It's a little bit suspicious at that point in time. Yeah. So sorry, what I was getting at before, with when I like talk about nationalism in like more of a negative sense, I'm more focusing on, so kind of getting back to the tanky thing. This is like a term that I would use to describe why tankies are bad, and the whole idea is, or the slogan I use is, defend ideas, not people. And I think this can be translated to countries as well. Whether or not my country's doing a good or bad thing, I don't think that I'm like just because I might be supporting what my country's doing, doesn't mean that I'm like supporting my country specifically. Maybe like not to me anyways. It just means that I'm supporting the idea that they're presenting. Essentially,
see what you have to offer.
I'm much more interested
That's
in.
A pretty bold take, David.
I'm much more interested in the like ideas being presented by themselves, not who's presenting them. Because people are flawed by nature. So even if a good person is presenting like a bad idea, it doesn't like mean that like it can make those things flawed. And then we started idolizing things like countries and people and stuff. And I actually find it creates more division too. When you stand with your country, you're actually like, you may be standing in the interests of yourself, but a lot of times that might stand against the interests of other people too.
Wait, quit it. You're gonna love this.
Well, what's
the
up?
Twitch politics category.
Yeah.
The Twitch politics category is filled with nerds, creeps, and generally boring people. Let's see what you have to offer. And then they go, I'm giving you a chance even though you're a neckbeard. That's the first time I think I've ever been called a neckbeard.
Amazing.
Wait, what is the context of this?
This guy is just saying,
in your chat.
sorry, not a guy. This random person is just saying that like the politics category on Twitch, this was what I'm streaming because we're gonna be doing like politics stuff.
Oh, you're
just saying,
streaming too, or what?
Yeah, he's saying it's filled with nerds, creeps, and generally boring people. And he's like, let's see what you have to offer.
To me?
Yeah, sure thing.
Also, like, nobody's looking at the chat of.
Oh no, I just feel I don't want to steal time from the 13 army. Going through my chats. Sorry guys, you should probably head over there if you want to.
Let me
That's just straight up my Twitch. There we go. It's linked there.
I could link it there.
Who are you guys talking? So we are joined by Bilk. He was in my chat yesterday, and he's also a streamer. And then also, I'm not familiar with the other person in the Discord as well. Novus is here with me as well. He's a good friend of mine, and we stream together quite regularly.
True. Yeah, I didn't really get introductions, I guess, here. So we've got Bilk, and then 123. Do you want to just be called 123, or?
You can call me whatever you want.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the channel rules are a little lackluster. Like, very new to streaming. Like, I did it like years ago, but streamed mostly from my Xbox and just played games. So I definitely have to touch up my channel, definitely. So
Very good.
Very
Anyway,
good.
so yeah, but that was pretty much like my main point with the nationalism thing. I do agree that there's like positive aspects to it for sure, though. Cannot deny that.
I
Yeah.
think that's probably listed under hate speech there, David. I'm just going to read off what he said. He said one of them sounds like an Israeli. I don't support Israeli. Can you confirm or deny if that person is Israeli? I mean, choosing to support or hate on someone just because of their race or nationality, and then judging them for that is probably hate speech, if I'm not mistaken.
Yikesies.
It's a country that I don't support. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you don't support the country. It's the fact that you don't support that person because of the country from they're from, which is racist, if anything. And racism is a hate speech when you put it in vocalization. And if you can't recognize that, you don't belong in my Twitch chat. Just saying.
Yeah, I think that was a good answer, actually.
So you're saying I have to support an apartheid ethno state or else I'm a racist? No, I'm not saying you have to support them. I'm saying the fact that you are going to judge someone before you even know them based on their nationality is racist, and then that within itself leads towards hate speech.
You might not want to derail too hard, 13 Army Hay, because we were like here to do this other thing. Up to you. If you want to converse with your chat, we might want to just do that separately.
Yeah, sure.
No worries.
No problem.
Here, always. Okay, should we move on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Okay. No, it's quite similar here. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it.
I agree with that.
That's where I strongly disagree.
No interest.
Again, and as
It depends on how you take the question, right? Like if you're talking about the country or culture, like culture is definitely something you can be proud of, but I'm not sure about the country.
I mean,
fair.
I think the US is a quite good example of here.
Mhm.
Like I'm quite fond of your free speech and constitution. And if I think I was an American, I would be quite proud of that country.
Yeah, it's always like a framing thing, right? Like, because like how, like what do we mean by proud? I think is like a big thing we could say here. A lot of people like that are white nationalists will consider themselves to be like really proud of that, right? But then like just you could also just be proud of the fact that that we're like in the U.S. for example, like a modernized country that has like a pretty like high standard of living for the most part, and you might feel like pretty proud of the luxuries that you're afforded from living in that country and stuff, and or like the relationships that you formed from being in like a quote unquote free country and stuff, and the things you're allowed to do, which I think those are all like pretty like positive things. But you can also be proud of like negative things, I guess, too, that are associated with it. So
yeah, but I mean like it's not nothing. It's just like let's say let's take Japan for example.
Yeah.
It's not foolish for me to be proud of Japanese industry as a Japanese. I don't think that is foolish.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why I strongly disagree there.
The onus is on you.
And again, I think that's the more thing that unites us makes it a better society. I guess. The next one is quite. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races.
Yikes!
It's hard to talk about this.
Yikes!
Gonna take the hard scientific stance on this one and say strongly disagree.
Yeah, definitely strongly disagree.
Yeah, that's the easy way. I mean, that's I think if you that's how you define races, though. Is it race the human race, or is it differences in?
Yeah, I would assume. our
Also,
race
it
is.
depends on how you understand the question, right? Like, I mean, you can understand it in a way where it's not racist to answer differently, but I mean, it's very hard to.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be
Yeah.
stretching to get to that one for sure. Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah. Well, let's just
Gosh,
skip to the
give
next
it
one,
an
I guess.
Before we skip to the next one though, I want to have kind of like a very interesting
'Kay.
debate.
Sorry, give me
On
one
this one?
second. I might have to miss out on this one because my I keep getting power flashes here, and I'm not sure if
Okay.
my stream is going down in the process or what, but my camera's turning on and off and stuff. Just give me 1 second. I
Okay.
gotta sort this out. Sorry. You guys continue on.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if we're going to be talking about country and they have very wide demographics. Okay, before we get to this, I'm just going to quickly, briefly talk about something. Is Israel a race? No. Obviously, Israel is a country. The fact that you're going to judge people for being Israeli, that means you're judging them on where they are from, which is racist. So maybe, yes, correct. I might have been misspoken or outspoken on that. But the fact is, you're still judging people, or you're judging this particular person on the way they sound because they sound Israeli, and you literally said that you have a problem with them, which the fact that you're going to judge someone based on where they're from is racist. I don't know how else to word that. If someone judges you for being from the U.S., and does that make them racist? Think about how silly your logic is. I mean, if you say that you hate someone and you don't support them from being because they're from America and for being an American citizen, then yes, that would make you racist towards Americans. If your logic is that slow and you can't comprehend that, I don't know what else to tell you. And so back to my point, saying like our racism.
Maybe ask him what he think racism is.
Americans aren't a race. What are they then? What is racism to you?
I mean, I'm German. I would call myself an expert on this.
Well, what's your point on the question?
So my point on the question is saying like our races may superior qualities. I think there's a good level of like proudness that can be, or maybe not proudness. Well, maybe proudness is the right word. A good level of like proudness that can be brought in from one race in comparison to like another. It's like I know like you can be very proud about your race without having to draw conclusions from like quote unquote superior qualities, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. We discussed this question before, and
yeah,
one of my was like, there's this. Don't take me through facts, but I think I'm right. There's this gene that makes people being able to run for a long time. It's
Is this the warrior gene meme?
Yeah, something like that. And it's among the population in I think it's Jamaica, it's superior, or there's a lot more of it there. And I mean, if I had a gene, I would be fucking proud of that, being able to have a warrior gene or whatever. that doesn't necessarily clash with the race, but
right,
for sure.
Sure.
That's a valid argument, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We can move on to the next one there.
Yeah, sure. Okay, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I guess you guys from the US have a you have a strong opinion about this.
I have to agree with this because I have to be friends with lipshits like the 13 Army over here in order to get to where I want to get to.
And then like literally just vice versa.
No, but yeah, I think that
also,
it can be efficient, but you can't make successions, like you can't make the wrong successions. So for example, if I had to like I could never see this happening really, but in like a wild example, if I had to work with like a fascist to get something done, then like I would not succeed like human rights to them. I would, I don't know, I don't even know what I would be gaining out of that, but like you can't like work with somebody who's going to like actively harm whatever you're like trying to
Shouldn't it work like that? Like the enemy of my enemy is not really my friend. He might be an ally in a specific case, but the friend is something else, right?
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, friend is definitely a
But
particular word here.
also, to be
Yeah.
fair, yeah, I was gonna kind of bring up a point about that because it's like, say for like certain like minority groups, so it's like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it's like a minority group might not necessarily get along or agree with another minority group, but when you band together in numbers, you're stronger than as a collective than as individuals.
Yeah, that's a really important
That's
part
correct.
of like any kind of minority like progress for like human rights is collectivization. If you are gonna accept, like if you're gonna fight for trans rights, you also have to fight for gay rights, for black rights, so on and such forth. You can't like allow
Yeah.
any of the other like things to slip through or be against any of the other things, because then
Mhm.
you like allow susceptibility for the entire thing to fail.
But
Yeah.
don't
Right.
you think all of that is already part of human rights?
It should be. It's not enforced, I think, is a key factor there. Like, just because it's like these things are covered under what we consider human rights and what human rights are, doesn't mean that they are actually being enforced to the same degree that they would for people who are not a part of minorities and or rich.
Human rights are also just really, really strange too. Like they're really like loose. Every country's gonna have like different like versions of rights and stuff, and how they enforce them
Yeah.
and everything and interpret
Yeah.
them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
100%.
basically you can walk down this path how long you want, but
Hmm
I think we're just gonna go to the next question. That's
Yep.
also a question that's quite interesting for you guys. I like me from Sweden. We didn't really involve in much of military action, but like for US, the war supporting like yeah, basically you guys have fought war.
Yeah, like we've fought wars. So the question is military action and that defines international law is sometimes justified. I mean, I think like I agree with that to some extent because if that wasn't the case, then I think like if I'm gonna get like really specific with this, then like it was international law that kind of put an end towards like Hitler's kind of like reign of terror, right?
Oh, that's a good
Um,
example.
so like if nobody stepped in and we didn't have international law then, even though like countless people died because of World War II, I believe it was, or was it one? I can't exactly remember. Um, but even though countless people died because of that, I do think that it was still justified because it stopped the almost complete eradication of a race.
Yeah, I tend to agree. But it's kind of vague
I
as
don't know.
well.
I feel like that is a very extreme example. I feel
No,
like
no,
there are
that's
better
why I said like I
examples.
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I was saying like I was taking kind of like a very specific example on that one.
What do you think? One, two,
Um,
three.
I think the thing about the example he named, the only reason I kind of like I agree with his point, right? But I
Yeah.
don't agree with the example being good for that because if you have like a world-threatening case, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you throw over some rules you have, right? But
Yeah.
like for example, let's say invading a country is illegal to international law, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But let's say you have like some warlord wherever in Africa or whatever, right? Who's like basically fighting a war against his own people, and
Right.
then some country invades that country to protect the population.
Yeah.
Then this is probably a case where you could say that is sometimes justified, right?
Oh yeah, you could justify it in the extreme and in the like less extreme, I guess.
Yeah, but then again, like none of us is an expert about international law, right? So maybe there is some regulation that actually makes it legal to do
Yeah.
that in a specific case like that. So like this is the problem I have with this question. I'm not an
Yeah,
expert on
yeah.
international law, so I don't know what is justified and what is not justified. So I can't really.
But like
Same.
my take on it, I tend to agree that it's yeah, I agree, not strongly, because there's others. It's kind of a question. I mean, international law is an it's an international law that you don't use chemical or biological weapons.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we use like fucking tear gas on our protesters, like
Yeah.
locally in like Canada and in the U.S. So like, but
Yeah.
bioweapons are bad, guys.
Yeah. So I mean that
I feel it.
doesn't that isn't justified. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to international law, isn't like bioweapons mainly about like diseases and stuff? Not sure.
Basically
Biological
spreading
weapons are
the
things that attack your immune system and stuff usually.
Yeah.
So that could be like a virus, maybe. We haven't really seen much of stuff like that. Usually
Corona.
it's by accident. So for example, when colonizers came to Canada, they brought with them what was it? Smallpox. Which is like
Smallpox.
it was like an accidental like way to kill a bunch of the indigenous people in Canada. And then you can also like, so that would be an example of something like that. But then usually what biological weapon refers to would be usually something similar to tear gas, right? Because it's like considered inhumane.
But
I don't
is
know.
it really tear gas though? I mean, let's play with
We'd probably be
thought
talking about mustard gas maybe and stuff like that. Things that would like,
yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, like a more extreme version essentially of it.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're quite done with that.
Yeah.
There is no worry in the future.
So this next one, I wasn't entirely sure how to answer. So saying there's now a
Okay.
worrying fusion of information and
I agree
entertainment.
with that very strongly, though.
I kind of disagree with it under the sense that I think a good way for people to become like aware of things is by mainstream like entertainment or mainstream media, right? When you kind of like put that information out there and it gets covered in a productive way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's not what the question asked. The question asked, is there a worrying fusion? Like I think it's worrying if you have to inform people in an entertaining way for them to listen.
Yeah,
I think
But
that is worrying.
I interpret
I
it
think
as
the issue though is like that's just an issue not so much like with the fusion of information and entertainment. I think that's an issue with humans in general because like we have a very small attention span by nature. Like it's a reason like why Vine or TikTok is like really good and like why they say like the first 30 seconds of like whatever it is you're watching generally justifies how much of that you watch or continue to watch because you need to be engaged.
Isn't that also a generational problem? Like
Yeah, it's 100% more of a generational problem as we continue forward, especially with the way that like I said, like media is moving forward, especially with things like TikTok or like Instagram snippets or even like YouTube original snippets where they're constantly trying to get people's attention for like the first 30 seconds. I think it's 30 seconds to a minute. And then beyond that, most people are switching to something else if they're not actively engaged.
isn't that
So
not exactly the part that's worrying?
I don't think it's worrying though, because I think if you're still able to promote the information in a healthy manner that like gets people engaged and gets people talking about it, then the more people that know about it, the more people are talking about it, the easier or the more faster the solution kind of gets resolved, or we can come to a consensus on a better solution.
But I tend to disagree on that one. If you're seeing the information and entertainment mixing together, there's quite the risk of only the popular or the interests of the information, the right interests.
That's a really good point.
Being enlightened. I mean, like, let's say for product placements in a movie.
Right.
There's information about the Camaro, but there's nothing about the Ford. Do you get the idea?
Yeah, it's definitely structured in a way that like corporations that have access to like money or product placement are definitely going to prevail over other corporations that would be considered competition.
Yeah, it's
I
just the
look at it
negative
more
like
in a
way
way
that
of,
entertainment works and then the information, because then the popular narrative, whatever's popular in media or in entertainment and whatever information is being presented by that would end up like taking hold, and you have a less like ability to control that, I guess.
Yeah,
but also at the same time, like with that being said, like I don't know if this is a very common thing in European countries, but like there's a Netflix documentary that's like literally able to like dear all white people kind of thing, and it talks about heavily about like BLM issues and stuff like that. And a direct correlation of that was because of the whole BLM protests of that were like happening. And so that whole series was funded because of the BLM protests, which means that more people are learning about like black issues and black problems, which then more people are going to be talking about that, more people are going to be aware of this, and it's less of a disconnect, I would say, from like one culture to another.
Yeah,
No,
so
I
basically
feel like
we could both see the positive and the negative sides of this, but I think that in the capitalistic society we will tend to be more exposed of the paying information
Right.
rather than
think it's
the
worrying.
non-paying. So I would I get your point, but I would agree with it.
Okay.
Lucky that thing is plugged in right there because I would have lost.
Yeah, it's just like difference of opinions essentially, and like I definitely see where you guys are coming from too, and like where the worry might stem.
Can I
Actually,
hop in on this, or I'll wait
Sure,
till you. Sorry, till you're done.
Do you want to go first, or?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I just wanted to present this as like a thing, because so according to this, it says there is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. My position on this would be that like I think there's always been a fusion of information and entertainment. Like
Yeah.
we could go back into like the AIDS crisis in the U.S. and how they were like spreading the narrative that gay people were the only ones that like spread AIDS and caught AIDS and stuff like that, right? And how it was used in like a negative way. Then that would be a worrying way. This just seems to be like something that's going to happen. Musicians will always like incorporate like whatever their political opinion is into their music and stuff too. I kind of think it's just like a natural thing, and it's only usually worrying like when you see that particular thing that seems like it's going to harm people being spread in the narrative, I guess, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think that it's necessarily like a new thing.
I would tend to disagree with that. I think it's always worrying because
Yeah.
even like the good intentions might that's being lifted really is maybe not good in the long run really.
That's a good point. I think I could agree with that.
I don't know.
So
Like
basically, I
my
think
biggest
that
problem. My biggest problem with this is that I feel like informing yourself should be an obligation as a human being, right? Like in society,
Yeah.
at least to a degree. And if you fuse this with entertainment, then I feel like I don't know. I feel like information in general should be. Obviously, it can't be right. Like it should be objective, like as objective as possible, right?
Yeah.
But if you put entertainment into the whole mix, then it's distracting from the information. And I feel like information shouldn't be anything you consume because it's entertaining. I think information is something you should consume because it's important.
Okay, yeah, like in more of a raw format instead of like a
Yes.
sensationalized format,
Yes.
perhaps, eh?
So like if you mix entertainment with information and this is the only way you get the information across, I feel like that is very worrying.
I agree.
Holy fuck, we got
I
like a
strongly agree
Robert
with that.
Stitch.
yeah no just there is now a worrying fusion. I mean, there's never been a better time for fact checking really. I mean,
True.
True.
just look at the propaganda without internet and like basically
How many
North
people
Korea
actually
or
do that?
just ancient history where the leader said one thing and that's the truth like so but yeah I would agree with it's now still a worrying fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, should we go to the next one?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you guys have any? Oh, okay. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality.
I strongly agree by that one.
Yeah, I agree. So strongly.
I probably would have to
I
say
think-
that like I agree, like like how do I put this? Like practically, I would say that that's true. Like, or maybe evidence-based wise, I would think our problems more lie in class, right? But I think more people feel divided as individuals by nationality.
Yeah.
Not sure about that. Like, if you look at how social groups are formed, right?
Yep.
Then you will definitely see that, like, for example, a rich Asian person will
Yep.
like have more in common with a rich Caucasian or like Middle Eastern person than
Yeah,
like,
wealth
That's-
definitely breeds
Yeah.
the grounds for people being able to
Definitely.
like come together in of opposition to not wealthy,
nationality.
like a nationality, like a rich person more than likely, and I think evidence can prove this and backs up that a rich person isn't going to hang around with like a poor person.
Because what
For
you're gonna do, right? Like you're not going with your buddy from the ghetto to the local basketball place, right? You're gonna play golf with your rich white friend, right? Or like I don't
Yeah.
know how to say that.
Yeah, that's why
I
I
think-
say that I agree, like on principle or by maybe by evidence on the first point about class. But then I think that people feel like people's feelings aren't really based on evidence, right? So that's why I feel like people feel they're more like divided by nationality. This is why like most of the middle class in the U.S. and Canada will will vote for policies that end up like only benefiting the rich and fucking themselves over because they feel like it's at their own like country's interests over like their class's interest essentially.
I would actually
Yeah.
disagree with that still. Because
I think I would disagree by some place. I mean, in my society, I tend to look to hang out with other Swedes regardless of class, really. And
Okay.
I mean, it's just tend to like I have this. I'm a hunter, so I think I feel like hunting and fishing and like stuff like that really brings everyone, regardless of class, together. And when you're there, you tend to you don't talk about money or you don't talk about class. You talk about hunting.
Sorry,
Yeah, I think
hunting and fishing. If you look at the global scope, that's more like a rich people hobby, you know.
Yeah, I would have to
Yeah,
agree
for
with that.
sure.
Like people who hunt and fish
It
or
depends
trap
on
and
if you're
stuff like
talking
that.
about for sport or for livelihood, because you could have like
Yeah.
really low economic class like indigenous people in Canada who like live off of the land, so they would technically
Oh, sure.
hunt to
It's
survive.
their job. It's different.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
him, it's a
Okay.
hobby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe-
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
yeah, maybe the I'm a bit fond of. I'm thinking about the Swedish way here.
Yeah.
Because I think like hunting and fishing is quite a common sport in Sweden. It's like it's not for upper class or lower class, or I think it's quite divided there.
Okay.
But
Right.
so I think in Sweden, fuck, it's a trick question.
But my
Oh,
friend,
maybe.
like the thing is, how many people that are actually poor can afford to be a hunter?
Well, it's not hard to or it's not expensive to hunt in Sweden if you have the land. Like
Wait a
no,
second.
but Sweden is
I'm sure that you guys have. So in Canada, we have like national parks and like
Yeah.
crown land is what it's called, which we're allowed to hunt on, which is like publicly owned like land owned by Canada. And this is where a lot of hunting is done.
You're not you're not allowed to hunt
Oh.
on parkland.
Wait, sorry, yeah. You know what? Not on national parks. That was the thing. Yeah, that's
you
where
go.
the
There you go.
wildlife is preserved. Okay, it was crown land specifically. Sorry, I'm a
Yeah,
dumbass.
I was like, do not go shoot things on crown land. You will be arrested.
True. Don't take my advice.
No, but really we have basically the same here in Sweden, and since it's not that densely populated, especially in the north, you can buy. People tend to have quite big labs.
But I think
Really?
I think also though that I think why, if we're going to stick with this example, why it's divided by class and nationality, like how much is your standard 22, right? Like a standard 22 is probably like anywhere from $300 probably, like 300 Canadian.
Yeah.
I don't know what gun prices are in Sweden and
That was-
stuff like that. So it's probably like around $300 Canadian, and then you need to buy ammo. Standard box of ammo is $60 to $80, so you're looking at basically $400. Then you need to go out, get your hunting license. Then you also need to buy your tags.
I'm guessing you guys have hunting licenses and tags in Sweden, hey?
Well, we don't have tags really. I
Oh,
know you
okay.
have. We have tags on the big wild ones.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But there's an
Yeah,
issue.
like we need to tag anything that you shoot needs to be tagged, and if you shoot something and you don't have the tag for it, you can get fined, and possibly receive jail time if it's like happened more than once. And if you don't report it, you can